it's wartime. Hey, my ladies, it's wartime. Hey, my ladies, it's wartime. Suit up and get in line, my ladies, it's wartime. Hey, my ladies, it's wartime. Hey, my ladies, it's wartime. Hey, my ladies, it's wartime. Suit up and get in line, my ladies, it's wartime. Hey, it's wartime with Queen Bean and
Olivia.
all right, Livy tonight. We got Sharonda, Sonya, Queen, and Livy. How y'all doing today? This is episode number 4 of Wartime. We are done being what, Sonya?
Resilient.
We are done being resilient and we are ready to be resistant. We ready to be resistant. We are ready for our voices to be heard. So, this week, we want to talk about some hot stuff going on in the industry. And when we say the industry, which industry are we talking about?
I mean, to me, it's all the same. To me, it's like, because it's all movies and it's all music. It all goes together, in my opinion.
Movies, music, entertainment.
Yeah.
What they call it?
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Like, y'all just don't even know. I be praying to God to make this podcast a success. I do. I want it to be a success. I want it to be huge.
I want to get my confidence where I'm not so like whenever, because I like in my head, I be getting in my head.
She be in her head, and I probably need to be in my head. I think nothing of it. I just be like, let's get this done, because I'm trying to go eat or do something anyway. No, I'm just saying. But the thing is that scares me is that fame, what comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
That frightens me so much. Even with my books, I would say, God, I know you want me to be great, and I know you want me to be, in a better area than I am, a better place, better financially. I know you want me to reach more people than 200 or 300, 2,000 or 3,000. But I am afraid of the fame. I'm afraid that I'm not ready for the fame, number one, because you're not going to be tricking me. I'm not no little girl that you can pull in and groom, for lack of a better word, because that's what they do.
Oh yeah, there's so many. There's so many stories. Like we have heard the stories of like Hollywood, I will hit on this part because to me, there are people that don't understand. Like we know stuff, like stuff, especially about like the music industry and everything that's going on with Diddy, Drake, and Kendrick, and like I'll be knowing stuff that goes on with like Hollywood, like the actors and stuff. But then it's just in politicals, like I know
she definitely in our hands, feet, everything, all in that.
But not everyone knows, and that's the problem, because when we look at Hollywood or entertainment or like these stars, they talk to our children. No matter what anyone says, they're talking to our children and our babies are learning from them, just like we learned from our generation. You know what I'm saying? But I did see a poll where Gen X, like we raised like we was like really like most of us was like helicopter parents.
Right.
Like majority of us was like, because of how we was raised, and that's why we have our little warrior kids now.
Now, define what helicopter parenting is, because some people don't know what that means.
To me, as a helicopter parent, is you're involved in your child's life. I raised 3 daughters, and the kids just being involved in school, like, and have them in activities. Being involved as a parent, that is the number one thing. Like I used to go read like at the school to like my kids' classes and stuff like. That's the number one thing. And
so
it's hard for parents that have to work and stuff.
Helicopter mothers, we were those classroom mamas. We bought the snacks in, because that was me. We went on all the field trips, chaperoned all the field trips. That was me. We read to the children every Friday. That was me. Field day came. We're out there with the children. We're the soccer mamas, the baseball mamas, softball mamas, football, basketball mamas. So yes, we had a lot to do with our children, even though we were the ones that were really left behind. Mm-hmm. Like, we were the ones outside from sun up to sundown drinking out of the water hoses. We were the ones who had the commercial at 10 o'clock at night that said, do you know where your child is? What the fuck? Like, what is that? Dad, do you know where your child is? At 10 o'clock at night, he better be in there. My 17-year-old better be in there to bed somewhere. Like, I need to know where he is. And, like, our parents thought nothing of that. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And then if you did hear about a child being kidnapped or come up missing, we're like, oh, my God, like, now we're superheroes. We're trying to go find the person that kidnapped our best friend or kidnapped the little Jody down the street because we felt like we could do that. But the children now are different. The children now are different. Generations are different.
Like the hugest thing this week, that's all we have seen on the news, or most of it been about the college campuses. And all I'm going to say is you can support Israel and the community of Israel, and you can support the people of Palestine and not support Hamas. That's what people. There are babies dying.
Yes.
Like, yes, I 100% believe Israel has a right to, protect itself and everything. Like it's a 2-state solution. It's got to be the answer, but a ceasefire. I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, I want a ceasefire in Ukraine too. I mean, that people forget, like, Vladimir Putin is the aggressor. He just has to stop it. That's it.
Well, I think where people
and just like Hamas just has to release the hostages.
Exactly.
Like, it's
not that hard. It's simple. It's a very you.
But I get the pain that the Palestinian people, because they did elect in Hamas, but they was living in what they consider open air like prisons and stuff like that. I get that
concentration.
It's such hard, and that's geopolitical world. And in America, we cannot understand American politics, and all us trying to, like, because I don't care who you vote for, America will stand with Israel. Mm-hmm. They will always stand with Israel, and it's just, we need to ceasefire, and it needs to stop.
But I think what I want to say about W.A.R. war, people don't realize that war does not just affect the soldiers that are over there fighting, and that some lose their lives, some lose friends and camaraderie.
What does Cat Williams say? You know what the Iraqi uniform looks like? I'll wait. He says. He said 10 out with Iraqis. I'll wait. Because they in flip flops and half clothes. You know what I'm saying?
It's
true. They are literally, like, when people
they don't have uniforms.
Like, people are fussing about don't give money to Ukraine, don't give money. I don't know. I trust that the people that's in charge know what to do with that. Like, I mean, I would love a ceasefire in both, but I mean, we elect people into office that is supposed to know how to handle this stuff.
Supposed to.
And our president is not responsible for what another country is doing. I know that people think that, but they're not. The pandemic happened, and a lot of people didn't have, like, now that we look at, like, the G7, G8 countries, like, how they've had, like, like, you see how bad we have it, but there's countries that are, like, we are the number one compared to all these other countries. Mm-hmm. Not all of the countries, but the ones that have the same, like, population, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the same, that the G7, G8, like, that goes into our category, like, our democracy, our country, like, we are them, and, like, other countries, and everybody wants to say Biden is not hated. He's literally respected because of that, but he followed the plan of FDR. It wasn't like he went in there with his own plan. He listened to a previous president that handled after the Second War and the Great Depression and everything. Like, it was literally a plan.
Right.
And I'm a little, like, feeling good, so if I get some of my stuff, I will apologize, but this is the gist of it. And you can always educate me, because this is my best understanding. Because, listen, I am 47, and I've learned more about history since 2016 than I ever knew.
And that's what I was about to say.
Ever.
Like, we were talking about the industry, and I feel like with the industry, when we talk about entertainment, and that even goes for our news. That's why she'll tell you she relies on PBS because it's raw and uncut. Whereas these other news shows, even though they claim to be live or whatever, they're edited, they're cut.
Well, it's biased, like,
things.
Their personal.
Yeah.
But PBS is like it's public broadcasting.
Right,
It has to be.
right.
It's boring. I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, PBS. I mean, it's not exciting, but it's like, this is what's happening.
It's just what it is. Yeah, it's straight to the, But we have so many people that want to cover up, make things look better than what they are, make things that seem like less than what they are. And so, like she's saying, whenever the entertainment system is involved, our children see everything firsthand. Our children see everything firsthand. And so if our children are seeing the stuff that's going on and not really truly understanding it, then you can see how that could be a problem.
And can you, like, we don't understand 100%. So how about our children? Because we told our children that world peace was coming and they was gonna be the leaders. And
you know, every doggone
and check out Gen Z that's on the tour bus.
What do you the pageants? You know, every pageant, the person that won always did a speech about world peace
and what we can do to make a better place. And that's what we've said. Whitney Houston sung it for us, and we literally grew up saying this. I believe it. And now we don't want to listen to our children.
Our children are our future.
Because everybody, like, even conservatives will say, our kids are never going to forgive. Nikki Haley, our kids will never forgive us. Well, our kids are never forgiving us in this moment right now. You look at the college campus, you look at the Gen Z that's on social media, you look at Gen Z that is going and doing a bus tour. Gen Z's bus tour. They're going to all the southern states or the battleground states and talking to people because they want to energize their, because they'll tell you it's their world.
Right.
We'll be gone and they will be here. Like the Confederate flags people hold on to, it will be gone. Gen Z is done with it. Like if it is going to be, like y'all upset about pronouns, I hope you ain't around for when they really take over, because when they take over, well, let me take that back. Project 2025 and Agenda 47 could happen if we have a dictator get into office, but I digress. But
yet it's still, I just don't understand. My thing is that I want to learn more about how politics is embedded in the industry.
It's in everything.
Because I know it has to be so deeply rooted in there, because
but listen, think about it. This is what I've come to. Like, this is, I don't lie, this is what I said. I said we've got to start breaking the patriarchy down, in my opinion, and I'm sure there's people before me that have done this, but in my opinion, like just like how I was raised, was the dad was the patriarch, the mother was the matriarch. What they said was what went. That was the law, and that's what they was told, and that was what was told before them, and that was what was told for them. And because like me, someone that was not allowed to have a voice growing up and was always silenced, and even though I've been a motor mouth, that's what my girlfriend's coming, but it was, I couldn't say anything that meant anything to me. And if I ever said anything that was against something that someone else thought or believed, it was against what they was raised believing, and those generational curses that we talk about. So you got to break it down. Like, we know now the patriarch is very much bad, but we also know that the father, like, there's problems there, because he thought he's supposed to be the hunter and the gatherer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't have emotions and feelings, and it's caused a problem because it's making these men go out and do these awful things and thinking that their moral compass is off. You know what I'm saying? I hate to even say moral compass. I'm just saying, like, you know, like when you're raised up in it.
Okay, because what we're talking about is a lot of this stuff that's going on in the industry, dealing with these famous people. I'm just gonna put their names out there, because you know what, they may see this podcast and want to come on this show. Okay, come on, Diddy. Where you at? Where you at? Where you hiding? Where you hiding at, Diddy? Come on. I'm just saying. So we're talking about Diddy. Orlando Brown. Like, I would love to sit next to Orlando Brown and have a conversation with him.
Look how he was treated.
But people think that boy is. Anytime people don't understand you, they call you crazy.
Thank you.
Every time.
Always.
Every time. Me, all the time. She crazy. She psychotic. She deranged. She delusional. Every word that means that I don't know what's going on up here. And it's all because people don't understand me. And instead of calling people crazy, let's normalize calling people misunderstood. Because that's what it is. Yes. I don't understand her, so she's not crazy because I don't understand her, but that's what we would say. Oh, you know, here come crazy.
But if you would literally have a conversation and talk with someone, and you can find that instead of like, this is what I've learned, and I can have conversations on lives because I try to give them so much rope, because I really want them to understand, because women have got to come together.
Oh yeah,
53% of the voting bloc. We should not be still 50 years not had the ERA passed. We should not have to look at our voting rights every 20, 25 years. We shouldn't. But people of color have the same thing.
Yeah.
Only certain people, we know, we ain't gonna say their names because I know you got your feelings hurt last time, but they hold the power.
Who feelings got hurt last time?
You know the men. But
she be having
listen, we didn't learn how to edit good, so we had to go through
Well, listen, we believe the children are the future. We still believe, like,
yes,
Whitney Houston, because we see these Gen Xers out here doing these bus tours. We see the Gen Xers are the next ones in line to run this country. Oh, I'm sorry. We're the Gen Xers.
Yes.
We wish.
Well, honestly, like,
look, we wish we could do that stuff. Like, we should have been the ones
this summer
doing
we're
it.
gonna do some stuff. We should have been.
We should,
But
yeah.
you know what I say? We
like
dropped the ball.
we dropped the ball. Like we should have been the ones.
We was like raising our kids. We really was like we
raised our kids and we believed what our mamas and daddies told us. That's what it was.
That is 100% it.
We took our mamas and daddy's word for it, and it is what it is. And
listen,
go outside and stay outside all day long. You ain't gonna die. Go outside and drink out the water hose. You'll be okay. Go outside and don't eat all day long. You ain't gonna be malnourished. And we lived, and we said that made us stronger, better beings.
I done pictures with my daughters this morning. And we all went ate afterwards and everything. And, of course, we never had groceries, they said, of course. But I would buy groceries in 2 or 3 days. They'd be gone. They do it. My
Who said that?
My girls. That's like, we grew up on ramen noodles. Like, I was, because y'all eat all this stuff. You know.
Not mine. No,
really?
No. And that's what I used to tell people. Don't come trying to serve my children on noodles and hot dogs. They're not going to eat that because mama cooks. I've always been a cooker.
Well,
I don't believe in that. I remember when I went to nursing school, the first day in nursing school, Miss Parker stood up there and said, you might as well say goodbye to your husband, your children, your friends, your kids. You finna be raising your kids on peanut butter sandwiches and ramen noodles. I cussed the lady out the first day of class. Not mine. You got me. Like, and she like, excuse me. I said, no, my children are not going to be eating no peanut. They haven't been eating it just because I'm in nursing school. Why
listen, and they said that I never cooked. We never ate. Then they named like 4 meals that they had way too much. But they had 8 days a week.
That's because.
But listen, that's like in our home, like we would have spent $3-4 on groceries. I'm telling you, because it always be on Friday when my ex-husband got paid. We'd always go on Fridays and buy groceries. And by Monday,
if it's not what they want or what they like, then
listen, they would go and get with their favorites.
No food in the house. You can have a house full of food, but if it's not what they want or what they want to eat at that moment, we ain't got no food. Grandma, can you bring me some McDonald's? Mama ain't cooked nothing and all this.
No, but I mean, I was not cooking every night. I trained my ex-husband how to cook.
She trained.
He was amazing at cooking. He was a very good cook. His wife, thank you. I mean, you're welcome, whatever. Just there's some other problems you may be looking for is all I'm gonna say. Just let you know.
Girl, if she don't stop me, and his wife probably watching this right now. Hey, boo, hey.
She's a baby. No, I wish her the best.
She a baby.
She's young. I mean, I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, never mind. Let's leave that alone. So, all we're saying is that I said Gen Xers, so I need to start over. The Gen Zers, they are the next to suit up and get in line. The female Gen Zers, listen to me, it's wartime, ladies. It is wartime, ladies, because like she said, we dropped the ball and we apologize.
And the millennials have y'all's moments.
Oh, yeah, they coming, because my daughter and son are millennials.
Boomers, Gen X, millennials is that. I mean, I hate to admit it. Millennials, the older millennials has got like a really crazy, how it's mixed up because you have younger millennials that are like in between millennials and Gen Zs that are pretty cool, but then you have the millennials that are that generation that we have that's harming themselves.
You still got Sabian is considered a millennial, so is Diamond, and so is DJ.
No, Sabian is a Gen Z. Yeah, my daughter is 25. She's Gen Z, and Devin
Sabian is 17.
I know.
He Gen Z. Mm-hmm. He's not a millennial. So what is Diamond?
Millennial.
Diamond's 23.
Oh, so she's Gen Z too.
So DJ's the millennial. He's 27.
He's the older Gen Z and the younger millennials.
So what about my 32-year-old? What is he?
Millennial. And that's the generation that we having a problem with, honestly. They I don't know what's going on with them. They're the ones that are harming themselves. They're the ones that don't feel like they fit in. They're like,
I believe that.
They're
and
really,
all of my children, like, I love him to death. He has,
and I can't speak for
he
has
always been,
but there's something
a loner. He moves so far away from family. He stays gone. He's hours and hours away from us. We hardly ever see him. We hear from him whenever he wants us to hear from him. And then it's times that I feel like I just want to pack up and just run to him and just hug and love on him because it's like, you need your mama. But you're 32 years, and I know that I need to learn to let these kids go.
My 28-year-old sister, 29, she's very much, Danielle, she's a nomad too. She's really, but like it's that
So
up to
I
40.
get
It's
it
like that.
now.
It's
I
like that.
see.
It's like that third. It's really
And-
the 30s.
And I think the reason
Upwards
why
to
they
about
probably
40.
feel like
They're
they don't belong
struggling.
because they probably were the last generation that really did play outside. Like
Oh,
those children were outside, and then boom, technology came, so they had the best of both worlds. So now it's like I'm confused. Do I go outside and play with my homies and my girlfriends and have fun like we used to, or do we try to figure out what's going on with technology?
Like the Gen Xers, when we come around, we can say one thing, no matter what anything said. I'm not saying that racism was dead with us. We ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
We let normal racism happen because we didn't have, like we knew those people that were in our,
And I guess that's why I say a lot. I'm a Gen Xer. I didn't get called the N word.
But millennials, like maybe that's what it is that like they don't fit into nothing, and like when you see stuff like, I mean, think about millennials, like they literally Rodney King right before they got here. Then they've seen, what I'm saying, like Gen Z. Racism and the riots and all the stuff, the civil discourse with Donald Trump, everywhere that mass shootings have happened in their whole lifetime, and we're doing nothing. I can't even own the gun violence because we do nothing, and that's what one party suggests is we do nothing, and
I never thought about that because I've always said that my oldest son is so difficult. And now that I think about what she's saying, it's not so much as he's difficult, but maybe he just don't know where he fits in at, and sometimes I listen to him, and now that she says something, I think that just may be the issue, and I say, oh well, he's a late bloomer.
Well, see, like I tell you, like my younger brother, he just turned 40, and he's an older millennial, but he didn't fit in with my dad, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he did but he didn't. His culture was not the same as theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't like country music. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? And I can't imagine, because I knew men of color that loved country music. I mean, it probably was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a mixed generation, like, that we did bring, like, we really could have brought up change. It was, a lot of stuff had happened, but, you know what I'm saying? We could have really had change, but we was healing. And our parents had just got over the civil rights. No matter what our parents want to say, they lived through some tough shit.
Oh, yeah.
Segregation was tough. Like,
oh, yeah.
And then they had Vietnam War. Like,
I asked my mom, I said, do you remember whenever you had to drink out of separate water fountain? And I couldn't even imagine, but my mom's like, yeah. And I'm like, and I can't imagine nobody treating my mama bad, because my mama's just the sweetest thing in the world. So I'm sitting there, like, imagining how she was treated when she was younger. Like, if I was down to beat the brakes off somebody, you tell me something, go drink. Man, look, she said she gonna drink right there. That's what she gonna drink at. And I know I would have been a big problem back then. So I know that.
You said you was gonna be Harriet Tubman.
Girl, I would have been her little sister, bitch. Like Harriet said, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Like, what is y'all talking about?
Listen, and because I know, like, I know that we've been complicit. We have the women that look like me.
Yeah.
Me, my ancestors, my people before me. Like, we've been complicit.
And
like very few of us really like went out and done the fight. You have few, but it's nothing. Like not as many women that was like, and I get it. Like, I mean, and I know that, like, in my mind, I get it, because that the poor white people that was going and fighting in the Civil War had no clue it was to keep rich people to have their, you know what I'm saying? They probably that wasn't what they sold to them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we need. Let's just go on and say that, because I don't know if we've said that on here. Sonya did not realize that the Civil War was the South was fighting the Union, and the Union was actually the United States of America, and the South was actually part of us at one point. Were breaking away and wanted their own freedom.
Listen,
and
I'm telling you,
so she didn't know
Union
that.
And the Confederacy, and the Unions was the Yankees, and they was the North, and the South was the Confederacy, and we was right, and we was gonna rise again.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what she was raised.
And maybe they done it, but like, it's just like, even if you take something like that and say that I read it, but it wasn't really taught, because I know people that I talk to that say the same thing. My mother thought the same. You know what I'm saying? It's literally, it's because we was told this, and we know why. Daughters of the Confederacy, 120 years. Look it up. If you really want to make a change, like, you have to educate yourself. And that's
what it is, and that's just it. That's what anything. I'm talking to parents, because we want to reach so many people. We're talking to mothers out there. We're talking to fathers. We're talking to sisters. We're talking to brothers. But we're talking about our children mostly. Anybody got children, y'all need to start paying so much more attention to your children than just giving them their cell phones and sending them off to their room so they can get out of your face. Like, you need to be much more active in your children's lives. Learn and know what these children are doing.
Like, even if I was active as I was, I still had demons. So it's possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. I literally, like, I have so many, like, I get my children. I was a mental health person. You know what I'm saying? And I literally 20 years in therapy, and because of my belief system that I was taught that, you know, Jesus was just going to heal me instead of me really working on me and finding me. And it was the brainwashing of my childhood. And it's just, and that's what it is. It's like, we was brainwashed. I mean, I know that's hard. Like, we can still have made our mind up about who we marry and stuff, but the fundamental things, we was brainwashed.
Yeah, we were. And my daughter, I wish she could, we're going to have to learn to do this where we can go live and have other people in these little boxes with us, because she would be a wonderful addition to our podcast, because she talks about, because she was she was raised Christian, and then she talked about how she broke away from it because of the brainwashing. And that's what she said, Mama, y'all were so big on, if something's wrong, just pray about it. Pray about it, leave it alone. And she said
that's what like, and it's all about control. It's all about control at the end of the day. And I don't know, I just don't know how, like, I don't know how women, when the countless women now that have lost their lives, that they're saying because they didn't get the appropriate health care. Like, it's just, we have women in America that are hurting over things they should not be.
Body autonomy, gender bias, we have women that should be doing things in politics, but because they're a woman, they're not allowed to go that step higher. We have women that should be doing things in their career field, and because they're a woman, we're going to leave this for a man. Like, that's just discrimination is what it is. We're going to call it what it is. So it's just time for women, like we said, it's time for y'all to suit up, get in line, start doing what you do what you want to do. So, like, I hear Sonya talk a lot about she was a mental health parent. I probably was too, and just didn't know it. Because I stayed busy. I made sure I stayed busy.
I think everyone needs a therapist. Everyone, because life happens.
Yeah.
And if there's someone that can help you process that stuff, because our subconscious exists, and everything that's ever happened in our lives, our subconscious takes it in. And it could just show its head whenever the hell it wants to. And you won't even know it's in there. Like internal racism. And that's like when I say, when I used to, I don't now, but I remember when I first learned about the flag and the truth, it broke my heart seeing that flag, because at first I would see it and I would remember, like, for like a second, all the love growing up in the childhood and all that it was supposed to mean for. But a second too, I know the pain and the hurt and what is behind that flag and why it's used to this day. And I know that it's not a heritage thing, which I don't even want to get on the heritage thing, because isn't it funny how you're supposed to forget about slavery and that it exists, but hey, let me fly this flag for my heritage. That's okay. I'm just saying, like, they literally, the things that they say don't add up with what.
It don't add up, because at the end of the day, if you fly that flag, you cannot denounce slavery, because that's what that flag was. And I was trying to explain to some people, somebody else told me that they didn't understand the Civil War. They thought that the South was fighting for their property.
States' rights, yeah.
And I said their property was...
Do you not get... And if y'all gonna say not states' right, but what's Trump's thing? He's giving it back to the states.
Yeah.
What the states.
Yeah,
so what happens when they want to, like, we know Roe and IVF and everything else, what happens when they don't believe, because in Georgia, same-sex couples cannot get married. Biracial people cannot be married. All that, and that was all hanging on Roe. And it's a legal nightmare. Like, there are women that suffering every day because of the decisions.
And that's crazy to think.
And they was foretold this.
That biracial couples can't marry.
It all falls up under, I can't think of the name. I don't want to mix up because I'm lazy and I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I'll be sounding stupid. Well, because I do get tongue-tied and I do get things mixed up, but I'm telling you, just fact check me. That's it. I promise you. Anything I say, if you don't believe me, just go fact check it.
And if she wrong, let us know.
Yeah, I love learning. I learn something new. I really try to learn something new every day.
Every day. You know what? When I was a child growing up, my granny used to tell me I could not go to sleep at night without telling her a new word that I learned. And if it was bedtime and I get ready to go get on my knees and say my prayers, you know, she would say, what's your new word? And I couldn't tell her. She would make me get up and go find a newspaper, something to read, and find a word that I had never seen before. Then I would have to go find the dictionary, look that word up. Then I would have to put that word in a sentence. Then I could go to sleep. So, yeah. So it's just time for us. We just want y'all to be involved with your children's life, even your older children. And if you got grandbabies, definitely get involved with your grandbabies. Because you know what? They talking real bad about us right now. I don't have any grandkids, but those my age that do have grandkids, they talking so bad about us that the grandmas be out twerking and stuff all the time. All grandma want to do is twerk and go out and party. And they want us to stay home with these grandbabies, and I don't even have them.
Listen, my grandma never stayed home. I didn't have that. My grandma didn't. I didn't.
Both of my grandma.
I had wonderful grandparents.
I have to call my mom in here right now, and she'll say, yeah, my mama would drop us off on my grandma's house on a Friday. We wouldn't see my mom for about 2-3 months later.
My mom used to do that with my aunt. And then my mama was like, you love your aunt. My mom was jealous of my aunt. Like, you literally used to leave me there all the time.
Exactly. Like,
why are you jealous of what you left me there?
What you expect? But it was crazy.
Hey, Patsy.
We would we would know when my grandma would get tired of us, because my grandma would be like, come on, we finna go. And we didn't have a house phone. We'd go next door, and she be calling around to the different little hole in the walls that my mama frequented, because my mom was a bartender, so she worked at a lot of the little cafes in the different cities close by. So she would call her when you better come get these damn kids. They've been here long enough now. And so we be like, dang, like, cause you know, grandma gonna make sure we straight. Even though she make us pick our own switches and braid them things together.
My parents did that, girl. My parents.
My grandma had one so long that she didn't even have to get out of her seat. She would just do this right here.
My dad's thing was let me go cut my switch. And my mom would occasionally, but my mom's thing was she would come in there and she'd say, go to your room. And then I couldn't have no TV, no phone, nothing. And I'm talking about hours would go by.
And you just sitting there
like worried. And then she finally come in there and be like, I'm disappointed in you. We get with the trip.
You didn't know what she was going to do.
It's torture.
Like, girl, come on in here and whip my ass and get this over with. Exactly. Now, that's how my daddy was. My mama didn't play no games. My mama when she got you wherever you was at, Walmart, didn't matter. And then she would tell people.
Manipulate.
And you know, we used to could do that. We used to spank our children out in public. Didn't nobody say nothing. Because they knew we would deserve what the hell we got. Try that now. You going to jail. It's always somebody standing around this gentle parenting that don't believe in disciplining their children.
Listen, my daughter don't believe in the word no.
Talking. Huh? She don't. Mm-hmm. See, bless her little heart. She gonna be calling you whenever that baby girl become a teenager. She gonna be calling you. That's what she gonna be doing.
I don't know. Listen,
get her.
Yes, you created it.
Yeah.
I think she'll be good. Like, cause I feel like she's got a positive life, but I get it. It's just gonna be. We never know. I hope not. But
and that's what I said. I just want everybody to know, especially my friends and family that are watching. I just want y'all to know that I had a good life growing up as a child. I don't know what y'all thought. I don't know what you heard. I had an awesomely amazing life. Yes, I was a 14-year-old mother, and mind your business. My baby was taken care of. Y'all know that baby was taken care of. Y'all seen him. He was Jordan down from the time he came up out this thing.
Girl,
don't be playing.
Tommy, I'm telling you.
My baby was Jordan down. And so people want to know why he can't. If he don't have Jordans on his feet, it's a problem. Because that's how he came out here. He came out the thing with Jordans on. I swear. So everybody know my baby was the freshest baby. Don't play no games. He's still the freshest. And that's how
we all know how my girl. Well, you say my girl.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? We got some fashionistas.
And plus we need social norms. Like, it exists. You know that in the world people care.
Well, you know
that's
what? Back
to the industry.
Back in the day,
everybody cared
like
because of what the celebrities put out, and that's what
it wasn't even. I guess, and you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I was a Chicago Bulls fan and a Boston Celtics fan. So 1996 Chicago Bulls and 93, 92 Chicago Bulls, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. Yes, so my son was born in 93. But the thing is that I'll never forget I was like, babies don't need shoes. But I was in this shoe store. We had a kid Foot Locker. They opened a kid Foot Locker. Yes! The shoe is big. And I'm like,
listen, I know, believe me.
A Jordan for $30, you can't buy no Jordans for $30. So my baby Jordans were $30. So baby, I was buying him a new pair every week. Every week he had a new pair of Jordans. So the older he got, them shoes started to cost more. Mm-hmm. But that's what he's used to.
Oh, I had an older brother that had to wear. He had.
And it was to the point that his foot had conformed.
My
to
younger brother
Jordans.
was the game systems. He was outside a lot because he had a four-wheeler. He had it made. But yeah, it was because I mean my parents. I had it rough. My parents both had to work.
Son, it was not rough because your parents had to work.
You just don't know.
You had a good life. You didn't have a good life.
I mean, yes, to some extent.
To some extent.
My biggest complaint is that my mom worked all the time. Yeah.
I grew up with my father. He worked all the time too, and I loved it. I did what the guy wanted. Me and my little brother.
No, I couldn't do anything because everybody was snitching me out. Like if I did anything, I always get in trouble.
Listen, my daddy would be like, "So you and Twan and the baby were out joyriding at 3:00 in the morning," and I'm sitting here like, "Who is telling my daddy this stuff?"
Listen,
my daddy would not tell me to this day.
My daddy told me when I had my daughter. This is no lie. You know what he told me?
Audrey, hon, I know it was you.
He told me because they would be like, it was Main Street. I'm from a very small town.
Y'all know Miss Hunt. That was our coach.
And they would line up. There'd be people out there with their babies. My daddy told me, I don't care what you do, I better not ever go through that town and see my grandbaby sitting on a hood of a car.
They had their babies out.
They would all be lined up on the street, I couldn't wait. They quit doing it by the time I was old enough, but I couldn't even do that.
That's country. That's
very country. It was literally, it's a very close community.
That's country because we used to go to my ex-husband, Dante, I'm just going to say because he's deceased now. We used to go to Dante family and
I just thought it was so cool, all the teenagers got to do that. We didn't get to really do that, but it always stuck in his head. He was just telling me not be it. We had TGNY parking lot and stuff. I don't want to find my grandbaby out there. You ain't got to worry. That is not happening. I'm not having my baby on the street with me. What? No.
That is crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, y'all, we have just been talking to y'all, and that's what these podcasts are about. We always want to create a safe space. We want to be respectful to everyone. We want to learn as well as inform and educate people on different things that we may know that y'all may not know. So that's why we encourage y'all.
And please educate me. I'm serious. Listen. I am not good on economics. I'm not good on medical stuff.
I got the medical stuff down pat. I think I got the spiritual stuff down pat. Now, if y'all need some business and marketing, I got that stuff down pat. Entrepreneurship, so just like I said, we just want new topics. I was going to talk about tonight about women starting new careers at this age. I'm 46, she's 47. So I was going to talk about that. So we may bring that back up as a topic later on.
Or do a bonus. We can add, we can do it and you can do a later bonus by yourself. That's straight, yeah.
So it's...
Because I'm literally whenever we make it big or whatever, I'm pretty much probably going to be behind the camera in production and just show my... I'm going to be the sidekick.
She gonna be in production. Dang, I won't be the producer.
I mean, of course, but I'm saying I'll be the one. But
she would definitely be the producer and the director. Should I cut? Let's do this again. And I'm like, it was good. It was fine to me. I don't know. Okay. She said, let's do this again. And I'll be like, okay. I don't care. So I'm very easy to get along with, and I think I'm very easy to work with. I'm like, whatever, just as long as we get it done. Let's just get it done.
Yes, that's it. Let's get it done.
Let's just get it done. Let's just stop saying that we're gonna do things.
Because listen, honestly, Gen Z, this is my best understanding. They are voting blue, but hey, if they get the energy behind them and people come up and they are open to putting two people else pushing for the DNC and the RNC to put two more people on the ballot. I don't see how that's possible, but I mean, I've heard it floated around a lot. Like, my mom still thinks, she's one of those that thinks that Biden is not going to be the Democratic nominee. They like just throwing it out like they don't want to vote for Trump so bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all love Trump.
Who do they think gonna be the Democratic nominee?
Well, you know, Michelle said she wasn't going to do it, but we always hope that Michelle will do it. There is a plan. There is a way to do this. They could get up to close to the time, but you can't understand. Joe Biden's going to run because Trump's running, and Trump owns the deal, like the RNC. Trump is the Republican Party.
Right.
I know y'all hate to believe that, all y'all out there.
So,
but it's true.
hold on. We were talking earlier. I was talking to Howard earlier. So, so is Kennedy running?
He's the independent. And he's pulling votes strong from.
That's why I was confused.
He was a Democrat.
I know that.
But he's not Democrat anymore. He's independent now.
Oh, okay.
But they're trying to get him to get out of the race because it could. What happens is, say that the independent gets so many votes, then that'll pull away from Biden and from Trump. Exactly. Right now, his votes are really pulling from. It's anti-vaxxers. They ain't no Democrats, anti-vaxxers. Right. You know who he's pulling.
Yeah.
Republicans.
Yeah.
But, like, if enough's pulled and they don't get over the threshold, then it goes to the Congress, and that would be on Speaker Mega Mike Johnson to make the decision.
Okay.
And
we were talking about that earlier because he said, I remember back in the day when I was young, it used to be like 7, 8, 9
Well,
candidates.
they had primaries, but like Democrat, usually the incumbent never has. Like when Trump in 2020 did not have it, he didn't have anybody in his primaries either because he's the incumbent. Whoever's the incumbent, whatever that party is, they don't put nobody else in for a ticket. You just don't. It's just disrespectful.
Right.
Joe Biden would have stepped aside because that was his plan, but he's the only one that's beat Donald Trump. Okay. No matter how good Hillary Clinton, believe it or not, until this, she was a beloved, just like Joe Biden was a beloved vice president, like one of the most beloved, because he got up there and he cussed with Obama, and he Obama had to do the gay rights, the gay marriage, and gave the same-sex marriage because Joe Biden let the cat out of the bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. Joe Biden done really a lot of things that was progressive. And Joe Biden is 81 years old. He doesn't care about lobbyists and that more.
I thought he was like 85.
No, he'll be 85. How old? When his last year in office.
How old is Cheeto?
77.
I don't know. See, I thought both of them was older. Well, they may got a couple more years. I was hoping that,
But if you watch, they said, this is what several doctors have said. They said that, like, I guess, like with Joe Biden, they said that he's just aging, like, I guess how they have their senior moments. Mm-hmm. And he said, but Joe Biden does not have dementia in his family, but they say how Donald Trump would be. That's what some say. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. But some say he does. But because he'll get in his sentences, and when he gets halfway through it, he quits saying things. And when he's up there for like an hour and a half giving his speeches, he'll change the way he changes the subject. And they say I don't know. They said that's a sign of dementia when you lose, like what you're talking about, and thought like that.
So you got to
like, I know. That's what I said. That's why. Listen, that's why I don't mess with anybody on the memory issues because I got bad memory.
I was like, so I got dementia because I can't even remember half the time where I lay my.
But phone. Is that early stages? Does anybody in your family have dementia? So maybe not. I mean, that I don't know.
Nobody.
Listen,
like all of my.
That's what my doctor said. And I don't know if they can be just paid by the Democrats to say it. And, it's just...
My mama got
it's been crazy.
But anyway, y'all, we just talking now. We just rambling now. But we do want y'all to hit us up with some hot topics. Hop into our comment sections on YouTube.
Please like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share. Tell somebody about us. And if you feel the need to sing my song, sing that thing. Because
my son-in-law Nick loves it.
Yes, yes.